was my first taste of LCS, so it felt like the norm, right? Being a rookie and getting to those highs is something that you feel is expected in the future. So to not be able to hit those highs again for a very long time was kind of like a reality check in a sense. It's not the norm to make it to finals every single year. It's not the norm to beat the best. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication to keep improving your craft and to get to that point. And just made me work harder each year. Made me keep striving for greatness and to never be complacent about where I am.
Contractz has had such an incredible journey as a player, and I think as a person as well. You know, the growing and the maturing that he has had to do to be able to get back to this place that he's been chasing for 6 long years. He said, you know, in the videos that he felt that everything that he's put in was really for this moment, that this was their time. And I think the NRG has been steadfast in their belief that they could win this whole damn thing, and they are now 1 game away from doing just that.
And not just him either. Palafox, 7 years in the making, constantly grinding, that commitment to improvement, looking for this moment, for this finals. And they're very close, but you have to cross that finish line. Cloud9 have been here a lot, and Cloud9 have done a lot of winning. So we'll see about the adjustments that they will make coming into this game.
I expect Game 4 to be very, very intense as Cloud9 fights for their lives and NRG fights for their first LCS title. Absolutely everything on the line here.
I'm gonna say, I think if Cloud9 want to come back, it's time for Emenes to step it into a new gear. He has not been having the best playoffs, I think, for Cloud9. It has not been an issue because even when they're pushed, they have not been taking losses. But in this series, Palafox has been such a difference maker, and Emenes has just not been playing on the same level as his counterpart on the other side.
All right, let's see how the bans shake out. Cloud9 will continue to ban away the Xayah when they play on blue side.
Azir next.
Going to start off with the LeBlanc ban. Yeah, do we just get the Azir and the Ivern again?
Or are they going to switch it up and try and get something in trade?
Poppy instead, okay.
At the very least, they have done this change before.
Yeah.
Sometimes they drop the Ivern when they're feeling about the Poppy, then they get beat by the Ivern and they're like, whoa, wait a second. Never mind.
Stop that.
Yeah. Maybe it is another look for the return this time around then for the Ivern for NRG. We'll see. I do expect the Azir to remain here. Again, Emenes only has 1 career game on Azir ever, and so it is a very common ban from Cloud9.
Well, what's the last one going to be here? Do they leave the Ivern up? Do they leave the Azir up? Kai'Sa banned out.
On blue side.
Yeah, this is going to be our first game without Kai'Sa.
I mean, very interesting because it's usually a red side ban, if anything, and for blue side to ban it, they're not willing to first pick it, but they're not willing to give it over. That's basically the call here.
I think you might have to ban Jace here then, because while Emenes doesn't play the Azir, the Jace has been one of those champions where he still has really good games, even when he's in a slump. I don't think you want to give that over to Cloud9.
Maokai. All right, they're keeping that one away from Blaber. So what's the first pick here? Sejuani has been very effective so far in the series.
Cloud9 could just lose on Maokai, by the way.
Blaber did just lose on
There you go. I didn't even think about that because it was so unimportant.
Wow, we were so distracted by the fact that NRG pushing Cloud9 to series point in the finals of LCS.
The 14-0 Maokai.
Yeah,
that was the end of it.
The real story for this whole weekend.
The real story, exactly.
No
what the people want to know. Blaber, 0% win rate on Maokai in his last game. Concerning trend there for Cloud9.
NRG are going to get that Rell again. Loving this engage pick.
What's the Nami hover for? Because Contractz does that every game.
I don't want to say.
Okay.
I'm not sure, so I won't say.
I know, but I won't tell you. That's what you just hit me with. That's what you just hit me with.
I'm not sure.
And all the people at home. How could you?
I assume it because it's usually just shouting a specific person out that you know that's a main of that champion. But I'm not sure.
So shout outs to Kobe.
Because
a known Nami jungle man.
It's
known Nami jungle man.
Let's be honest.
The Nami jungler. Zeri's going to get locked in again, this time back in the hands of FBI.
And it has been really interesting to see Zeri, you know, popping back up. And we're kind of talking about this in the halls, but I do think that the lack of Ghost for Zeri has been really, really punishing. There's so much CC, so I get that you feel like you have to go for the cleanse, but NRG in particular was doing such a good job of actually just kiting out the ult every time Berserker would pop it. And I think that it becomes really difficult to actually stay up and close that gap. And we are getting a spicy draft. Rumble Yone coming out here. So Emenes really throwing down the gauntlet, going for a very different style of pick. This is aggression. This is all in. And it's a lot of setup here with that Yone ultimate and the Sejuani one for the Rumble.
And it's a preemptive Azir counter.
Yes.
So they knowingly left up the Azir, and Emenes is all over the scramble. Let me slam this Yone down. I dare you to pick it. I will come for those kills.
I love how the camera guys actually caught the one person with the pick Yone sign as well, and he's popping off in the stands. It's going to be Jax again, though, for Dhokla, who, you know, he has brought new picks out throughout playoffs, has really been successful with them throughout these last two series. Clearly made a lot of work that he wanted to put in towards improving on Rumble, improving on Jackson, bringing out these picks, and making them a big threat. And it's been a big part of NRG's success.
All right, so we've got our top laners locked in for both sides. We've got nothing else potentially decided, as we do have the jungler in the mid for C9, but over on NRG, Rell could still go jungle or support. We've got the marksman too. I'm not expecting the roles in the second half of the bans to be mirrored. It will be a support ban from NRG. There goes the Ivern from Contractz. C9 taking the chance to ban it now in the second half.
Yeah, so far, these adjustments and these gambles that Cloud9 have made in this must-win game are kind of paying off, because they have the preemptive counter for the Azir. They buy enough time to be able to ban Ivern in 4-5 here instead, because NRG not picking up too early. The problem now is all of those supports that I listed last game when we're talking about all these massive engaged supports that are so good right now.
I love that one. I love that one.
Loading up towards the ban table here.
And I've got to say, you know, when we have seen Jax picked into the Rumble as an answer, it was always paired with Sejuani. It was always paired with the advantageous jungle duo for that 2v2, because that is kind of the way that you punish Rumble, is you all in, you bring your jungler up there, you try to burst them down. But because C9 have not only the Rumble, but also the Sejuani for this double melee pairing, I think that, you know, no matter what jungler they really grab for Contractz, it's going to be hard to win that 2v2. So I am very concerned for Dhokla, because if you can't play aggressive in that matchup, you cannot win.
And they end up still banning the Azir.
Yeah.
I think that's just because they don't want Blaber to have to be tied to mid lane. They don't want him to have to be consistently ganking for that lane. They want him available to gank bottom lane. They want him somewhere else.
Draven, Renata, locked in for the bot lane duo of C9.
I actually really like that chain of events there.
Yeah, and we saw this yesterday from Yone actually bringing out the Draven, I believe it was, in that series. So now Berserker slamming it down. He is one of those known Draven players. Renata coming through as well. This is that one enchanter that I kind of called out as one of the ones I think could actually get locked in. And it's going to be a Neeko for Palafox. This is not APA. Someone else actually bringing it out. Really interesting stuff here. Such a departure from a lot of the drafts that we have already been seeing.
Man, this one's going to be fun. Palafox on the Neeko. When we saw APA played in most of the games yesterday, he was struggling in a few different aspects. Palafox would often beat him in lane. His farm was a little bit down. He wasn't having the same level of presence that Palafox was having in a lot of ways, but his creative flanks, his angles for multi-man ultis in the team fights were what was making up for it. So that's the biggest thing I have my eye on for Palafox. If he can keep pressuring Emenes like he has been, as well as finding those huge clutch moments, that's a game changer.
And it's pretty good into the Yone, because when the Yone ease forward at you, you can snare him, and you actually have the shapeshifter to get away as well. So you are fairly safe depending on jungler intervention. Of course, Sejuani is a massive threat, especially when you're a melee solo laner here.
Yeah,
so
double melee solo lanes.
The junglers on either sides could make these solo lane matchup very volatile.
It's going to be such an exciting one. We have to see how well Zven is going to be able to play, you know, with the bailout from the Renata. Berserker can play super aggressive, can look for those cash outs, and also with that Q, you can interrupt the engages here from IgNar. So everyone from Cloud9 has to be on point in this one. It is NRG up 2-1. It is NRG looking to claim their title. We'll see if they can do it right now.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift for game number 4 of the 2023 Summer Finals. Here with the LCS, here with the Prudential Center. It's time to see if NRG can do it with the 3-1 victory, or if Cloud9 will take us to Silver Scrapes for the second time this weekend.
Nice choice on the player portraits for this game as well. Two big, very important players for each of these teams. We know Berserker on this Draven has had the pop-off plays, has had the pentakills, but FBI is coming off his biggest game all year long. His biggest carry was in this stadium, in this series, just before.
And I've got to say, coming into today, I saw so many Cloud9 fans around the stadium, but just now as the chants are erupting, you were starting to hear a lot of NRG fans stepping up and making their chants known as well.
Everybody loves an underdog.
Everybody loves an underdog, and this is kind of reminiscent to me of that EG run, you know, a year or two ago with Danny and JoJo, where they were able to make that underdog run, coming from the lower bracket, being able to get that massive win that created so many fans.
TSM are truly the underdogs here. It's going to be really hard for them to win this game. So,
but they are undefeated so far this weekend.
Exactly.
God bless them. All right. Well,
too far?
Let's keep our eyes on Berserker here in this game on the Draven. This is one of those picks. We talked about it when we saw it played yesterday. There's so much attention that naturally gravitates towards him because of his passive and the way that it works for both the payout and the way you can lose it all.
Absolutely. And in this matchup in particular, Alistar versus Renata, it's so much about how Renata uses the handshake, because you can actually pull that guy out of his combo as the Alistar goes forward. So it really does become this kind of game of chicken where Alistar, you can't give up all presence in the lane or you'll just get chipped out by this double range lane. But at the same time, if you engage at the wrong time, you get whipped out of that by the handshake. That is going to go really bad for you.
And especially level 1, before you even have your combo, you have to full give up on all of the push there. So it is going to be Cloud9 with the pushing bottom lane, which allows Blaber to come through, get this ward, and wrap her. Contractz going top, but look at Blaber also ganking mid at the same time. 2 ganks, same time, different lanes.
Palafox flashing out of that one. Wanted to make sure that he does not give him the chance. Flash for flash versus Blaber.
Very good trade, and this is just what I was talking about in Champion Select about this matchup here for Palafox, picking the Neeko into the Yone. Now he does not have the flash, but they did get visual confirmation on the enemy jungler, so they're going to steal away that blue buff.
Oh, IgNar was looking for the Q flash, tried to actually headbutt him under the tower, but it does force the cleanse and the flash from Berserker, so nice aggressive play there, but now Blaber looking to make him pay for it, as IgNar's got no sums and is level 2. They want to make this dive happen on double level 3 for Cloud9 spot.
Sejuani can do these because of the passive. The Arctic armor is very effective. IgNar knocking him away. They drew the aggro too soon. C9's dive fails.
Yeah, Zven really kind of bungled that. I'm not sure exactly how he picked up the turret aggro, but they wanted Blaber to start that one out and then be able to use the bailout very likely, but unfortunately Zven had aggro really early on, has to flash out, so really not executing in the way that they had hoped. As on the other side of the map, it's Blaber losing his jungle to Contractz. He's farming away all those topside camps because Blaber showed through mid.
It also means that Fudge does not get to press his advantage against the Jax in this rumble because his lane is pushed up. He's been Flame Spitter, but he knows that the enemy jungler is behind him, and his jungler has already revealed himself to be bottom lane, so it puts Fudge in a very awkward spot as well.
And Contractz, they know that there's no ward in Tribrush, so if he actually goes up too far, the wave's coming towards him, so Fudge should be patient in this situation, but with Dhokla that low, you want to punish, and now Contractz is spotted.
He mounts up for the speed boost. They're ready to follow it. He flashes in. They stun up Fudge. NRG should be able to find it here, I would think, but not quite yet. He jumps back in for the counter-strike. Contractz took the aggro. They do it right this time, and NRG get the first blood.
Such an intelligent punishment here from NRG with Blaber spending so much time across the map, ganking mid, ganking bottom, not getting anything. Contractz knows he has the power to influence top lane yet again.
Yeah, that is huge for them. I got a little bit nervous when Dhokla started backing off. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but they are able to bait him out, and then this is just really well played with Contractz. Once the auto attack comes in from that flip, you can flash, but you're still getting flinged backwards. Fudge just has no way out, and then as Contractz steps forward, takes the turret aggro, first blood going to Dhokla, exactly what you would want to have happen. There's that dreaded early sheen, and he gets a null magic mantle on top, so Jax is going to be feeling really good in this 1v1 all of a sudden, and Cloud9 have got to be sweating. They have got to try to pull off 2 wins in a row if they want to win. NRG has all the momentum, and again, strikes first.
All right, bottom lane for Cloud9, still pushing though. that advantage is there. The Draven Renata lane, able to make FBI and IgNar miss some CS at the tower. Also gives them presence to move into the river.
Yep.
So you see them constantly moving up, maintaining these wards here around the dragon, around this area. And Blaber now swapped sides again.
Yeah, Blaber wanting to shadow that push from Fudge. Make sure he doesn't get punished by Contractz a second time so that Dhokla doesn't get completely out of hand here in the 1v1 matchup.
Gonna be interested to see if Cloud9 actually make an early move towards Dragon as well. Contractz is the first one heading down there. Will be spotted, so Cloud9 are aware that he's down there. We have to find out what their response is gonna be. They wanna reset the wave, but with no flash on Zven, that would be a bit of a freebie, so they're not gonna be able to actually crash it just yet. They have to respect the fact that Contractz could be wrapping on them. They know they have no ward in Tribrush, and they know Contractz could be coming from behind.
IgNar is also taking advantage of that fear that they need to have by stepping up. He's been able to move into the river, take control over that area that was control warded. Palafox using the Pop Blossom there. Nicely done from Emenes to bait it out as Palafox is going to be caught. His fate is sealed, and Emenes is first on the board for Cloud9.
That was beautifully played by Emenes. The snapback on the Pop Blossom, then immediately re-engages with the Fate Sealed on the ulti. That is a big play there from Emenes, and one he really needed after it's been a slow series for him.
Especially since Blaber has invested so much time in this mid lane matchup, and they slam down this kill-oriented matchup here with the Yone for Blaber to finally get some rewards there. They do actually make good on the flashless Neeko kill. Palafox now, his flash has come back up, but that is just a little bit too late for them. Cloud9 already evening up that goal.
You can see Berserker stacking really well, already up over 180 stacks here, 7 minutes in. So trying to maximize the passive, always having those two axes in hand, and really wants to put himself in a position to get a massive cash out as Cloud9 are moving into that bot side river. Emenes has moved down as well. They want to clear out the vision, but it's not going to be a look to start just yet, as I think Berserker's going back to spend his gold.
And I like the little things that they're doing. You saw Emenes just leave that controller with one auto because they have zombie ward on Zven. So the Renata can come up and finish that ward off and leave behind these zombie wards that really do make a difference and just spike your vision score so quickly.
Yeah, already has 4 procced. Plus it gives you the additional AP, which is nothing to scoff at. When you get to 10, you do get the bonus AP on top of that as well, which we're not going to make decent use of. And now Zven, heading out on the map, is actually heading up towards top side, so they're making the rotation for the potential Herald play. Contractz sitting on a ward, doesn't know that he has been spotted just yet. We'll see if he does commit to this, because now he knows, and we'll have to back off. Fudge was cheating down, and I think that kind of gives away the play.
Yeah, Contractz disengages in time, gets back over the wall into the river, as Zven and Blaber will move their way up here. The Scuttle Crab already secured for C9, but that vision is about to fade. NRG's ready to challenge for this.
Yeah, they want to fight, and if Cloud9 make their... Oh, okay. Flash for flash.
For flash.
But a big ultimate as well. Emenes still has the Yone ultimate,
They're gonna have to
and
give.
that means your team fight is so much more powerful.
Especially with Berserker having this many stacks, if you try to fight that and you give him a cash out this early on, it is really going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But they're still staying around. They are somewhat interested in contesting this.
But they're sending FBI bottom, so I think that's the indicator.
Just want to see, I guess, if there was any sort of an angle for an easy steal. Not going to be given by Cloud9. Nice response there from Emenes. Reaction times are equal to the task. As FBI, as he called out Kobe, down towards bot. He's going to be shoving that out, so now it's just a matter of if Cloud9 can actually get down there. Fudge, not messing around in top, knows that Contractz could be up there, so he's just going to use the equalizer, push in the wave, and look for a reset, because that is now weak side of the map.
Precisely. FBI and IgNar back in the bottom lane, just trying to keep their farm going. Emenes not showing on the map means that FBI and IgNar don't want to goof around with any sort of 2v2 stuff. Even if they think they might be able to win it, they know that Emenes being there immediately ruins the party.
And Zven going to be closing in on 6 here. That is going to be such a huge level up there for him. He does now get it, because that ultimate coming through is so powerful against a team that really wants to dive in and pile on top of Berserker and burst him down.
Yeah, exactly. So good against a lot of the melee champions, and Neeko as well, who will be charging at you. Emenes, though, he's the one I've got my eyes on for this game. In a must-win game for Cloud9 off of some rough plays from him. He's the one who got the first kill for the team. He's the one on the Yone pick that they change around their draft for. And this champion has such a high potential for multi-kills in team fights, for setting up really big plays. And right now he's going to be able to chunk down another turret plate with his soul unbound before walking back to safety here. And his jungler comes through to ensure that they've got good vision coverage around that
Contractz
bottom
around
side.
here. They're going to try to look to potentially go on Berserker. The TP's coming in. It's everyone going bot. They want those sacks.
They want Berserker, and they want him now. Palafox has made his way in for the Pop Blossom. Berserker's gonna drop, and Zven will go with him. NRG pick up the kills bottom side.
Minus 200 stacks there for Berserker. A massive kill from NRG, and they're going to be able to go straight over to the Dragon. This is theirs as well.
Big coordinated plays from NRG again. The team play from this squad is what has gotten them here to this finals. Dragon will be picked up. And look at the rotation. You have Dhokla actually in the mid ground there. He couldn't stay mid. Now going right back to top lane. See how many of those minions actually die at the tower. But another worthy investment from the top laner here of NRG getting involved in those team game plays much earlier than his opponent.
I mean, it's just a beautiful setup. You know, Contractz is coming over the wall right as Palafox is TPing in. You know, they're setting up this play to just pile in on top of them. Really beautifully orchestrated, really beautiful time. And that ward was just not spotted behind them. They see the TP coming in, but it's too little, it's too late. There's nowhere for him to go. And that is basically effectively minus 500 gold on what would have been his cash-in. Plus, you're not getting that additional X2 damage on the ulti.
Yeah, the ward was just perfectly beyond the edge of that terrain so that it was hidden back there in the fog. And you can see the happiness on the behind-the-scenes team, the 8-coach squad for NRG.
And it's actually so interesting seeing Devontae there because this Yone Rumble comp is reminding me of like Clutch back in the day, playing the Kiana Rumble with Huni, you know, on their run to Worlds.
Yeah. Again, it's these team rotations where the rest of the team goes to make a bottom side play with their teleport, and then Dhokla rotated down towards mid, caught that mid wave, so they don't drop the extra money, gets back top lane here versus Fudge again, and the Jax is going to be set up as well for a side lane threat. Zeri has completed the static shift here for FBI off of those early kills that they just got on bottom side too, and that extra focus, so that's going to mean you also get some ability to handle this hard shove from the Draven Renata that has been constantly pushing the bottom lane and constantly giving Cloud9 this area to work off of. Contractz in the river here, though.
Also really interesting, Kraken Slayer first here on Yone, not something that I have really seen much of at all. So it's going to be a bit higher DPS, but of course, you know, you're not having that additional wave clear of something like a Shiv if you want to go towards that rush. So we'll see, you know, how much damage he's going to be able to get out. You know, if he's actually able to stand and get a lot of auto attacks out, it is going to have that additional value, but I do think it can be difficult to actually pull that off.
Dhokla going in, wants to see if he can get Fudge here. Oh, Contractz wanted to get
Close.
the shattering strike there, but it ain't gonna happen.
Yep, that extra Nimbus cloak speed for Fudge afterwards, walks his way out, scrap shield, FBI getting the turret plates on bottom side too. Man, the Shiv pushing power allows him to get right up there as well.
I mean, Berserker is way down now. 1,000 gold behind where FBI is. FBI is up a level, has additional farm, has the kill, has plates. So this Draven, from behind, Draven is really weak, honestly. You know, you don't have a tremendous amount of mobility. You don't have really any utility. So it's just up to kind of outstatting your opponents. He's going that similar build to what we saw from Yone yesterday. So looking towards that Triforce as the Mythic. And we'll see if he can get himself in a position to get an injection of gold that I feel like he's really going to need if Cloud9 are going to be able to come back in this one.
I think the one difference there is that yesterday you saw Yone go for the Collector first, just hard rushing the full lethality item, whereas it looks like Berserker is going to prioritize the completion of the Mythic instead. Total gold on the left side of your screen. Emenes, the guy who we said needed to step up, currently leading the game in terms of economy. He's the difference that makes this game even. We said it was plus 1,000 for FBI. It's also plus 1,000 for Emenes. Dhokla's coming down, looking to shut that down, but it ain't gonna work. A TP to reinforce means NRG's gonna call it off.
Yeah, he has to be the big difference. Fudge here wants to combine with him. The ideal scenario for Cloud9 is to have Blaber with the ultimate started out and the big Yone to group people up and keep people on a Rumble ultimate to be burning, but 2v3, 2v5 soon!
Oh, they immediately go in with a pop blossom. Palafox disguised himself as a minion, but it's only a double kill delivery right there back over to Cloud9. NRG thought they had a plan.
They're gonna get more.
C9 just destroy him. IgNar, only 150 HP. Fudge looking to kite into the alcove. FBI should be able to take him down here, at least get one back, but that was beautifully played from C9.
And look at mid, look at Herald. They're getting everything off of this. They get 2 kills on the bottom side in a 2v5. They take the mid lane tower, they get the top, and the Herald as well, and they can even go top with that potentially and look to pressure that because they already have a wave.
when all eyes are on Emenes after the previous game, when we say everything comes down to him, he has to step up, he does. Fudge teleports down to him. Emenes waits in the brush with the red buff, and then look at this. Rumble ultimate down, but really it's about this Yone wrapping them up. They're in the flame spitter. That's all the AoE you need off of it.
Let him cook.
Really good job there from Emenes. Gets his Q knockup into the ultimate knockup, and they just... Even though they chase down the Rumble and get the one back there for NRG, such a massive play for Cloud9 here, and that is so big that those 2 kills also went on to Emenes. He's even gone for the even shroud for that extra tankiness and the extra damage amp whenever he does hit one of those knockups.
Yeah, I have seen this a little bit. You know, it is kind of a different build. I want to say, did Chobi do this? I feel like he did as well. So I have seen, you know, a few different builds out of it, but this is definitely not what we used to see.
It's actually so efficient now because it's really, really cheap. One of the cheapest mythics in the game at like 2,300, I want to say, and has both resistances for you, plus gives you that damage amp for the entirety of the rest of your team. And when he wants to combine with the Rumble, he wants to be cooking for the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? You know, you can get that damage amp. It's also kind of a similar premise to what we saw from Licorice way earlier in the split when he did that split push Yone where he kind of went for that tank style of build. You know, one of the things I think Yone can struggle in a game like this is just if you go in, you get CC'd up and burst down, this is going to help him with that. And now Blaber going to drop the Herald. Palafox is surrounded and there's no TP on Dhokla, so he's going to have to try to make a run for it.
Yup, Blaber's just keeping Palafox locked down here. Ulti throws out and hits him. Handshake is there. Fate sealed again. C9 giving another one to Emenes.
And they can push up this Herald. The Herald's going to get another charge here. IgNar is moving out and so is Contractz. Zeri's coming up as well, so Cloud9 do have to respect the fact that there could be a response here coming from NRG.
I mean, they don't have any damage yet. Alistar and Rell, finally FBI making his way up into the top side. They know there's no ultis here for C9 except for the Renata. The hostile takeover could be a big difference maker here if NRG still tries to go in and engage. Emenes going to be knocked up into the air. Contractz ready to follow up, and FBI is running and gunning, and he's not going to be stopping soon. He shuts down Emenes, and IgNar wants to make it too. Zven, the focus of their fire next, but he gets back underneath the turret as mid lane. Dhokla versus Berserker, 1v1. That's cleanse forced out. So Berserker survives.
Yeah, and Berserker lucky to actually get out with his life there. You know, a couple more minutes, a couple more cooldown items picked up there. Dhokla maybe can just follow it up and get a kill. So that's a cleanse forced there. Dhokla has been put into a really good position through his play with Contractz. They pressured Fudge. They got him through the hard part of the game. He's building towards some MR. He can play towards those side lanes. And Dhokla is really going to be problematic here for Cloud9. If they want to group and look for 5v5s, Jackson just split the map and not give them that option.
This series has been so much fun. Counter punches from each team just after the other team got a successful play, picked up those extra kills. Now you see it's FBI who gets a bunch more money again. And last game, he ran away with it. It is now 3 kills on the Zeri, thanks to Contractz and IgNar going immediately onto Emenes, flashing on him, getting that kill for the Zeri. Now you're in a world where it's a quick blades done already, and that is only 18 minutes here. Very, very quick pace for him.
Absolutely. And who'd have thought with all the talk around Berserker coming into this weekend and into this finals, that would be FBI stepping up in such a way. A 16-kill Kai'Sa game, nearly matching Revenge's 18 kills that he had earlier on, which was a record for top laners. You know, FBI has been having an incredible, incredible performance here. And again, you know, off to the races with 3 early kills. We'll see what he can get done with it.
Little sus, that 4th range minion. Always count your minion waves, everyone.
That reminds me of the Zven tweet about Berserker. He's like, Berserker is hard countered by Neeko because he sees a second cannon and thinks, oh, my lucky day.
Contractz going in, wants to find the engage on Zven as Blaber misses his ulti. Hostile takeover hits 4. Energy's going to be stopped for now. Fudge is the target of FBI. IgNar taking up everybody here in the middle. Emenes arrives into the back looking for Palafox, but the Pop Blossom's about to take him out. Emenes about to fall. Gets away with the Q3 for now. Palafox stasis keeps him alive. It's 1-0 NRG in the fight. And again, they kill Emenes.
Ooh, pretty scattered fight here, and they do get the extra kill because Emenes is separated from the rest of Cloud9, but there aren't objectives really for them to take. They only killed 1 person, so Baron is way reaching. and it's just going to be a reset here in the aftermath. Bunch of summoner spells blown here, though, that will really matter for that.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see, you know, if it's going to be a move towards vision around the Baron. This next dragon going to be coming pretty important. This Hextech dragon, really high prio for both of these teams. Incredibly strong soul. Again, Berserker has worked his way back up to 320 stacks here, but he's pretty far behind where FBI is in total gold, down 1,800. So he really needs a cash out here to not even get ahead, but to just kind of claw his way back and try to get some parity between these two bot laners. And on the other side, it's going to be NRG again, looking for those windows, looking for those opportunities to take down Berserker and eliminate all those stacks.
The Jax working towards the Maw. Very effective in the 1v1 against Rumble in the side, and not entirely useless against Yone either because of the way his passive works, splitting some of his damage into magic damage too. Plus 438 gold for Cloud9 is pretty much entirely ignorable at this point in the game. NRG just going to need to find another one of those big team plays that have really defined their victories so far in this series. The next Drake spawning in 10 seconds.
I mean, Cloud9 obviously has angles to win fights, but honestly, if you're this close in gold and you have a Draven and the other team has Zeri, I think you're losing, right? I think NRG is winning this game right now, and it's going to be up to Cloud9 to find a really good way to execute and try to turn it around.
Their angle to win the fight has to be a combination with a Rumble ultimate and the Yone ultimate. If they do not get someone grouped up into this AoE, if they don't group the Palafox and FBI together while he doesn't have cleanse, which he doesn't right now, for a big AoE cook, then it is going to be hard for them to actually win. Otherwise, Zeri chases you down. NRG have a lot of ways to split up this team fight. Dragon getting chunked down though, 7,000. They're teleporting in to force it. Palafox also has teleport to join.
I like how NRG switched their attention over to the Crab instead to guarantee they had that extra bit of an edge if they wanted to fight after. But C9 are just so much faster to bring all 5 men to the Drake pit that they're going to earn themselves the objective instead.
Yeah, NRG just didn't feel that they had the angle there, and I think Dhokla's closing in on his next item, so potentially wanted to actually wait to be able to finish off those items. You can see, though, more and more of these items are actually getting completed. Knight's Vow going to be done for Contractz, really likely to be strapped onto the back of FBI, keeping him safe as he works towards that Bloodthirster.
See how much Cloud9 can do here, because Emenes also approaching that completion, as you say, to get to the first 3 item carry in the game. But Berserker, even on Trinity Force and the serrated Dirk and little bit of armor penetration, he's kind of cobbling together some decent damage output for himself too.
I think one of the biggest differences between this game and the past couple that we've seen is Palafox is a non-issue for C9. He's 0-3-3 on the Neeko. His surprise plays haven't worked out as great as he would have liked. It ended up getting them double killed in bottom lane. It wasn't able to find the kill on Emenes up here in the topside river very early.
And Emenes just finished Shield Bow here. So he is the first 3-item carry in the game before this Baron attempt from NRG, and they are actually starting it up.
NRG just trying to sneak this away. Cloud9, they're really close, but they do not know. The Baron is dropping slowly.
They have to have some jungle sense tingling here.
Yeah, Blaber's going to approach. Baron's still at half HP. IgNar goes in, but Blaber's not going to be a good target. FBI trying to kite him out. TP arrives for Fudge. Contractz still keeping the Baron aggroed as Palafox is hidden in the brush off to the side. Fudge still looking for maybe an alternate angle to enter into the fight.
He's trying to find Palafox.
5,000 HP. Emenes goes in. Fate Seal hits nothing. Emenes is stunned. He may just die here at the start. FBI goes on a rampage. Whirling Death takes one back. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. And Berserker cashes out.
Berserker, yeah, he gets the ultimate kill there. The execution on Dhokla with the assistance from Fudge's ultimate, so it is a 1-for-1. Emenes down instantly there, and NRG are going to return right to it.
There's no ultimates now on Cloud9. It's going to be so hard for them to fight this. Everyone is missing those ultis. NRG go for the turn.
Blaber's the target. Palafox trying to find it, but he misses everything. Now having to retreat. The zap won't mark anybody. NRG, their Baron attempt ends there.
Cloud9 don't want to fight. They need to get back to base. It was a 1K cash out, and Berserker sitting on 3,200 gold.
FBI just jumps in on top of him. Zap ain't quite gonna kill Zven just yet. Contractz wants to stun him here with a shattering strike. Smite, not enough. Zven lives with what I have to think is 10 HP.
That is so critical, and now Berserker will get back to base. 3,200 gold in pocket. Let's see what he buys. He's gonna finish the collector and looking towards moving for that LDR. Doesn't quite have the gold to finish that one, just needs a couple hundred more, so he's gonna get out on the map. And he shortly will have that 3rd item, so massive cash in of over 1,000 gold.
Very critical escapes from Cloud9 in that play. Blaber with the flash, avoiding Palafox's attempted hero play. And then Zven also escaping FBI's hero play. That was both summoners from the Zeri. The 4-kill, 500 gold bounty Zeri just used both summoner spells, got nothing for it, and now will be vulnerable. Berserker here finishes the Collector, and he is a force to be reckoned with after that cash-in.
C9 looking to Baron themselves. IgNar and Contractz, they're here. Palafox up in the top lane, having to rotate over. Dhokla will need to use the Unleashed teleport to join up in this fight. IgNar and Contractz are going to have to go into the Baron pit here real soon. Baron is low. It is stolen away by Contractz. Palafox will knock up 1-1. Emenes tries to get away with the bait seal as Palafox is going to be burned low, and Berserker gets the kill. Now with the equalizer, C9 are ready to turn, but they got to be careful. Dhokla, Counter-Strike primed. The cooldown has fallen. NRG trying to get away now with only the one death in exchange for the Baron steal.
Contractz comes up huge, outsmites Blaber at the Baron, gets into the pit, takes it as Cloud9 look for the flip and aren't able to make it happen. And the fact that they walk out only getting the 1 kill and losing the Baron is massive. And they can't even go straight towards the dragon. It's 50 seconds until it spawns, so NRG will be back out on the map.
That was perfect timing on the crash down from Contractz. Look at this. He jumps into the air and gets his way in as he gets frozen. Comes in frozen. Then it's the early smite from Blaber into the steal from Contractz. And he's able to make the hero play there for NRG. But then, look, Palafox goes in. He's... they don't care that Palafox died. They got the Baron steal.
Exactly, well worth it. And honestly, Palafox dying to get the flash up Berserker, I think you're pretty happy at that point because you already said secure the Baron. Now Berserker is really going to be in trouble in this next fight here, and Emenes might be in trouble right now.
Crash down interrupted by a nicely timed Q3, but IgNar's ready to follow it up. Rocket belt from Palafox. Emenes uses the soul unbound, but he returns right back where we started. Pop Blossom gonna lock him down. Emenes was supposed to be the win condition here for C9. A miraculous escape, but it will not matter. Dhokla will kill him off, and NRG have a 5v4 as the Drake spawns.
What can Cloud9 do? They're pinging top lane tower. They want to try and make a cross-map play, but when it rains, it pours. NRG going to get another dragon here. They get the pick onto Emenes, regardless of how much it costs.
Emenes is getting picked off a lot now. It feels like that's 4 deaths for him after a really good start. Has not been as effective in these team fights and in these side lanes. Fudge will get that tier 2, so a lot of gold injected into the Rumble. But it is getting really close to a series win here for NRG. They have to be feeling it. Yes, they're still down gold, but the Zeri's in such a strong point. It really outscales what the Draven can do. The Jax is going to be king in the side lane for the rest of the game. They have, I feel, almost all the cards.
They certainly feel like it, and it has come off the back of so much effort for these NRG players. So much determination got them to this moment against Cloud9, who have been the bosses of the LCS for several years now.
Emenes has gone from 4-0 to 0-4. Absolute smashing in the mid game coming out from NRG, focusing down the fed player of C9, not allowing Yone to be the anime protagonist and take over the game and do the 1v9s that he wants to do. Palafox and FBI working together to take down the tier 1 turret there in the top lane. NRG, a grand total of plus 2,300 gold for the Baron power play, plus 800 gold overall now, erasing the Cloud9 lead, building a small one of their own. Tier 2 turret gonna fall in the top lane. Total of 5 turrets to 3 now, favoring NRG.
Yeah, Dhokla saw multiple Cloud9 members down in that bot side jungle, so NRG had nothing to be afraid of pushing up towards that tier 2. And as you say, knocking down all those turrets, nearly a 2k gold lead here now. I feel like this next fight is going to be so critical for Cloud9. It feels like if they lose one more fight, it could be the end of their chances in this series.
And they need to have some focus on this Zeri. The Zeri that previously had no summoner spells now has both back. There is 1,000 gold reward if they kill FBI. 1,000 gold in that Zeri if they can just get it. Level 16, 3-level lead over Berserker right now. FBI again is once again on top of the world, highest level in the entire game. Absolutely lifting so hard in the finals.
I mean, they're just putting so much emphasis on getting him farmed, right? He's nearly 60 CS ahead. He has that 3-level advantage, which is a tremendous amount of stats and gold there. Plus, he has a 2K gold lead over where Berserker is as well. He's got that stopwatch. You want to kill him off, but when he has everything working in his favor, it's going to be incredibly difficult to get in on him. I mean, if you try to full send it on a dive on FBI, Contractz is going to be there with a counter engage. So is Palafox and Dhokla. Everyone is going to be piling in. It feels like Cloud9 with their comp are kind of like almost of two minds. I mean, Renata wants to absorb the engage and turn around and dive, whereas Yone and Rumble really want to be the ones starting off the fights and diving deep with that combo. So it's been pretty difficult, I think, for them to really make these fights work in the way that they're hoping.
Things are so tough, man. Talking about Dhokla being the king of the side lane for the rest of the game, too. Spear of Shojin completed as the second item. I guessed wrong earlier. He doesn't even need the full Maul of Mount Mortius. He knows that this is going to allow him to just be an endless menace in the fights, especially, look at the inventory now, building towards the completed hourglass for that strategy you talked about in the previous games, Isaac. Jump in with a counter strike, zone him away, stasis as soon as it ends, second one's ready to go as soon as you aren't gold anymore.
And we're basically back to that same situation where NRG have answers on all the carries, no matter who you go for. There's a Zonias on Palafox, there will be a Zonias on Dhokla, there's a stopwatch on FBI, and he's got 4 items plus that stopwatch. So he is king of the hill right now with the LDR complete.
All right, Cloud9 hoping they can scrape together some money for Fudge's death cap here as Blaber fishes around in the river.
You find Contractz, but that's not a good target. TP coming in. C9 got to disengage from this one. It's both at the same time. They found Berserker. He's going to die instantly. And now they're ready to follow up on Emenes as well. The hostile takeover gets him out. NRG still keeping the dive going. IgNar takes a lot of damage from the tier 2 turret, but nobody's dead on NRG's side just yet. They killed the Draven through both summoner spells, and Baron is 10 seconds away.
And they're going right for it, Flowers. They want to welcome Baron to Summoner's Rift with a kill. Let's see, Blaber does have Flash, Blaber does have Smite.
No way.
Can he find his way? No, he's recalling. He's recalling. They're not even going to go for the Miracle Steal.
I think it's the right call. I mean, with Berserker dead, if you go over there and you just give away another free kill, NRG can take so much off the map. I think Cloud9 are hoping that they can make a rally and get a dragon here. Move themselves to soul point, maybe find an angle for that. But NRG are going to be back out on the map before they have an opportunity. So it is the tier 2 tower going the way of Emenes. He's trying to work towards that GA, but NRG are here and they are ready for this dragon fight.
Yeah, with Baron Empowered Recall and Hexgate map, you instantly can reset, so they can all get here for this dragon fight. It will not be any advantage for Cloud9. Let's see, NRG walking up. They can see it. So much hard work put in by this team.
Zven getting poked a little bit.
GA complete for Emenes. That is a really big buy. We'll see if he can go deep and make something happen on FBI, who's missing both summoners.
All right, C9 forced out of the river. They're saying no, we're not ready to fight for this. It's not the soul just yet. They have the Baron. I think Cloud9 recognizes if they lose a team fight really heavily here, the game's just done at that point. So they're going to surrender the Drake. NRG moved to soul point in a 2,500 gold lead. Still 2 minutes of Baron left to play with.
So close here for NRG. So many years. It's been talked about, but Contractz, just imagine how he feels in this game. Stealing away the Baron from his former organization that he played on 6 years ago, the last time he was in finals with Cloud9. Now he's against them, and he's coming for their Nexus.
IgNar with a Hex Flash just in place. Wanted to see if there was an opportunity, but C9 didn't position for it. NRG going to continue their push. Tier 2 turret down in mid. Everything outside of the C9 base has been removed from the Rift. NRG trying to make their play here. IgNar loses half HP, but he ain't going to pop the ulti yet. NRG still pushing up. Inhibitor at half HP. Emenes goes over the wall. Soul Unbound. Not going to use the Fate Seal just yet. NRG get their next wave reinforced, so now they're going to continue the pressure onto the inhib. Blaber with the ulti. Contractz. Magnus over to 2. Berserker is dead. C9 are crushed. IgNar leading the way, and they're not done yet. NRG wants to keep this going as Emenes is going to be your next focus. Fudge getting beat down by Dhokla, who pops the stasis just to keep himself alive. Emenes, Fate Seal right back at him. Dhokla dies. NRG still trying to fight, but IgNar's about to die. side of the turret, he barely gets away. Contractz chasing after him. Fudge has to try to survive, but FBI's got the guns. Zven, the bailout. Is it gonna work? No! FBI finally drops. Blaber's barely staying alive. Palafox, Contractz, and IgNar all still hurt. They have to try to get away now.
It looked like they had it ended, but they couldn't quite make it happen. Emenes goes aggressive, forced the double stasis, which opened the door for Cloud9 to try to turn things around. But the start of that fight from NRG was incredible. Berserker instantly died, was barely able to get anything done at all, as it was Cloud9 who started the play. They throw out the Sejuani ult, they're looking for a move, but Contractz just steps forward. He sees the angle, gets in onto him, and now you see him, now you don't. Berserker was gone.
Yep, and then the adrenaline just gets to NRG. They chase forward. Dhokla flashes under tower. Contractz flashes under tower. Look at Emenes. He barely eased over, and then he's going to get off this ultimate to buy a little bit more time while they get one kill under tower once Dhokla was down, and Emenes escapes miraculously back to the fountain. FBI and the rest of NRG scrap together a couple of extra kills, but they do give over that critical 1,000 gold shutdown. Thankfully for them, it went to the Sejuani, and he could kind of laugh it off, but
yeah.
NRG will try and return to the scene of the crime and finish the job.
And it's not going to get any better for the Draven. It's just getting worse and worse and worse, and now there's a GA there over on FBI. He's level 18 on the Zeri.
Full build.
Incredibly strong, has that GA. Thankfully for Cloud9 on the other side, Emenes did keep his GA. He nearly died, but didn't even have the GA proc, so that is going to be critical. I think Emenes has to have a massive fight here alongside Fudge if they want to even have a hope of making something happen in the 5v5, because Berserker has not been able to contribute, it feels like, whatsoever.
NRG are so close to completing this run. This split is the first time that this squad of players who previously played under the CLG banner ever even won their first game in the upper bracket, and they're this close to winning the entire title.
And you touched on it, Kobe. Contractz starting out his career with Cloud9, and I think that when Contractz came into the league, Blaber is who they thought he would be. You know, the kind of trajectory that he had, where he's this super aggressive jungler that he's supposed to be winning championship after championship, really becoming that franchise jungler for Cloud9. It didn't happen, and he has had to claw and scrape his way back here. So for him to be playing against Cloud9, for him to be playing against Blaber, it is so fitting. And Palafox now looking for a potential angle, but is spotted.
Yep, IgNar's not here. I don't think NRG wants to overcommit to anything just yet. Dhokla can join with the Unleashed teleport, but remember, you still got to channel it.
It's so impressive, too, the resolute focus of NRG constantly on improvement. They're always talking about, always reviewing, always trying to make these small improvements to get them here to the top. Now, Blaber and Cloud9, though, he's trying to lead the charge. The last hope of Cloud9 in a must-win game, and the Dragon Soul is coming up in 40 seconds.
Contractz leading the charge. They're not going to go in just yet. That Drake Soul, they know how much of a difference it'll make. FBI going forward. Blaber doesn't get as much distance as he would have liked. Contractz and FBI stepping back. Engage comes through. Contractz is your target as the equalizer. Won't get much. Sejuani ult, Draven ult, Rumble ult, all gone as Baron and Drake enter the Rift in 15 seconds.
Yeah, now I don't even think they can fight for it. They're not going to have those critical ultimates here. That is massive. The equalizer got dropped on Contractz, accomplished nothing. And now Dhokla could even solo up this dragon here, while NRG just keep the rest of Cloud9 busy around Baron.
It's so difficult inside that pit, but Cloud9, they're trapped. They don't have options. They know they have to make a risky play to try and come back into this game.
C9 going for it. They got a full send or bust. NRG coming around to try to stop it. Contractz here in the front line. Dhokla's going for the Unleashed TP, looking to find the flank. Palafox into the very back of the pit. Pop Blossom on two. Baron goes over to C9, but now they got to try to escape and survive. Zven's going to be killed off first. FBI grabbed the kill on that one. C9 trying to find anything, but Blaber will die. It's a double back over to FBI. They'll try to run down the survivors as Emenes escapes down top lane, but IgNar may be able to close the gap.
He's got
the
flash.
headbutt pulled should get it done. There it is. They found Emenes, but they still got to kill him twice. Contractz and Dhokla working together to get it done. Berserker wants to hold him off, but no! Flash counter-strike! NRG are doing it! They're going down the top lane. Only Fudge is alive.
I think they've done it here. Fudge is trying to go in, but he's got nothing.
Fudge falls. The ace for Dhokla and NRG from their first first win in the upper bracket, to the win in the finals, to the win in the summer split. Zven comes back, but he cannot do it. Oh, ye of little faith, why do you doubt? NRG are your 2023 Summer LCS champions.
They've actually done it! They've actually done it! They have toppled Cloud9 from their pedestal. NRG have won the LCS Summer Split.
What a run from this team against all the odds. 3-0'd by Cloud9 in the upper bracket. They make the run. They get to finals, a 5-game series against TL to get here, and it doesn't even take them the full 5. They beat Cloud9 3 out of 4 games. They claim the title, and they deserve it.
And those players are the picture of determination, of perseverance. 7 years for Palafox to work to get here. 6 for Contractz to get back, so many.
The unlikeliest of teams to end Cloud9's run. They will not get back-to-back-to-back titles. They will not join TSM and Team Liquid as the teams to do it because NRG are the ones hoisting that trophy.
The joy on their faces. Palafox, he couldn't smile bigger if he had to, man. These guys worked so hard. They went through so much. They kept their face to the grindstone for so long. And the LCS title is their deserved reward.
Big Dokes completely revitalizes his champion pool, smashes on the Rumble, smashes on the Jax. It becomes a staple for NRG. They adapt and they overcome.
What a series from FBI. These last couple games especially, 16 kills on the Kai'Sa in the last one, untouched it felt like on the Zeri in this one, really stepping up at the right moment. IgNar as well as FBI were really coming under fire when things weren't working for this team. They were the change from the core roster from last year, and they were catching so much of the scrutiny as a result. So for them to make it all the way here must feel like absolute vindication. The NRG made the right choice, that you have that bot lane that could accomplish what they couldn't with the other one.
And shout out to all these guys behind the scenes. People always meme about the 8-man coaching staff of NRG. But these guys, man, these are the ones that are helping the players keep on that path to improve. The ones that are helping them get there. What a story. What an awesome journey for NRG. And these guys to get here, to fight all the way through, to take down C9 after losing to them 0-3 in that winner's bracket final. Just incredible.
You can see the emotion on stage and the crowd lets him hear it.
The arena erupting into chants for Contractz as he comes back. Absolutely awesome. All right, that's enough from us. It's time to join Gabby and the victorious NRG for our Verizon post-game interview.
It is my pleasure to be on this stage with our Summer 2023 champions, NRG. I've got the bot lane, I've got FBI, I've got IgNar. FBI, you were talking about how badly you wanted to take Cloud9 down, destroying their chances at the three-peat. What are you thinking now that the deed has been done?
Well, that felt fucking good.
I'm sure it'll take time for it to set in. IgNar, your first domestic title. You finally lifted the trophy. How are you feeling?
Feeling so amazing. I thought I cannot win like one title before I retire, but I don't know. I just have two good teammates and then two good coaches, so feels really good.
people joining you on the stage today. Power of Evil was tweeting out that he was crossing his fingers for you, your teammate, back in 2020 when you played. What was it like getting to be on the stage this time? Because you played remotely last time.
I mean, playing on the stage this time, I don't know, like so many people cheer for me, like my best friend. and then my best like players. So I don't know, like on this stage, feeling really confident today.
I'm sure you're feeling confident as well. In game number 3, you got 16 kills. That is a record for a finals performance. How'd you pop off?
Well, I mean, in the past, I've been setting records in the finals for the fastest 0-3s. So I'm glad I could set a positive record. And yeah, I think C9 were kind of shaking today. And I feel happy that I'm able to get revenge for last year.
It feels like this is on cue. We hear the MVP chats coming in, and you are the finals MVP.
Oh, thank you.
As you mentioned, it's not your first rodeo on the final stage, a champion, but this time with NRG coming in this split, changing things up. What does that mean to you, getting this individual accolade with a new squad?
I used to think that individual skill matters, and I think definitely it does to an extent, but at the end of the day, the best team will win, and I think just as a 5-man, we're very close with each other and we're very good friends, and I think as cliche as it sounds, the power of friendship showing through.
It's very real, and it showed up today. Speaking of which, I'm sure that you're excited to rejoin your friends in celebration, so I'll let you join back as we get some more trophy lifts. And I'm gonna steal a couple more members.
So good, so good.
Hey, Palafox, where's Dhokla at? Hey, Dhokla! Hey, Dhokla! Hey, you wanna come hang out for a bit? You wanna come hang out for a bit? Yeah. Come on over up here with me. Never before on a stage until this weekend, the both of you. Dhokla, you were having so much fun hovering over Teemo, getting some booze for the Yumi.
Yeah.
What was that like, taking that energy in?
I mean, it's just feeding off the energy. Like, the crowd really is vibing with it, so, like, it's just fun, you know?
What about you, Palafox? Fun vibes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just having a good time. You saw me smiling a lot when I'm playing.
I told you yesterday, I thought your cheeks were going to be hurting. Now I feel it's even more so.
Yeah.
And your Jace was really rocking in game 2.
Yeah.
How was NRG able to turn this around in such a way for the 3-1 finish and just kind of smash and get into their heads, it feels like?
Get 0-3 to give false hope into make it back through loser's bracket, play 5 games for maximum stage experience, and then beat C9. Yeah. That's what we're going for the whole time.
Palafox, do you feel like some of the doubt or kind of the feeling of the underdog era was kind of pushing y'all through? The power of friendship, so much talk of C9, right?
Yeah, I mean, even when I look out, I think there's a lot of C9 fans, and it's good to, hopefully we'll gain some NRG fans after this one, you know?
Yes, sir.
And for the new NRG fans, Dhokla, I think one of the coolest things was seeing you even play different things, draft, really giving us a 180 in some cases. What was that like prepping for this match?
I mean, I was actually, so our whole pick strategy was like lose week 8, lose week 9, ban Rumble in first round playoffs, pretend you don't play Jax until the finals, and then we pull it out.
All surprises, all surprises. Before I let you join the rest of the squad, any last words from both of you?
We fucking did it.
Yeah. Fucking go.
You did it. Ain't nobody can deny that. And as y'all know, we got to hear from your jungler.
Yeah.
So you can help me get his attention. Contractz. Just give me the brain to mic right now.
Doesn't feel real, honestly. I mean, I'm just so blessed to be here, blessed to be a champion, proud of my team. Couldn't have done it without anyone at NRG, so.
I'm sure there's so much surging through your brain right now. You've talked about the perseverance, the hardship. Are there any faces or moments that come to mind more than anything else when looking upon the journey that got you here today to finally touch that trophy and be able to lift it above your head?
Just big shout out to the coaching staff at EG when I was there 2021. They really believed in me, gave me a chance, let me, show what I could do. And then very thankful again for CLG and NRG. They really believed in me when I wasn't playing well, and they gave me another chance, and here we are now.
You can feel that level of belief from everyone surrounding you. And I think even more than that, the belief it feels you have in yourself. It was a hard-fought weekend, 10 games total. Or not 10, but 9, but still probably felt like that at some points when pushing through. How did you just keep that going, keeping that focus, keeping the team motivated, and being able to push through in that fashion?
Just had to be as positive as possible. Even though we had some rough games, some tense moments, I think, we persevered and we never gave up, and just really, really proud of everyone.
I hear some contracts being screened from the crowd, so much support. Would you like to say something directly to the fans, the new NRG fans, those that have persevered, the Contractz fans that have been watching you for years and years?
I want to thank everyone for being here, especially. Your crowd is amazing. After 6 years, the first time playing in a crowd again, and you guys did so well. It feels great to be here, and I just really want to thank all the fans that have been with me throughout my highs and my lows, especially the ones that were at my lows. They always believed in me, always gave me support, and couldn't be here without them.
Those thanks are felt, and as we wrap up these last moments on the stage, I know we're doing some trophy lifts and some photos, but would any of the coaching staff think hard? Any of y'all like to just come to the stage and kind of group around Contractz here? Everybody come on down to the front. Come on in. I know, they're busy taking pictures. Yeah, come on down.
We're getting next to Juan.
Shout out Juves, best jungle coach.
The massive team behind NRG that made it possible. You can send us off to the desk. Last words on behalf of NRG here as champions today.
Appreciate all of you guys. The support has been insane. And it's been a hell of a ride.
A hell of a ride indeed. As we go one more time to hear what our analysts have to say, crowd, give it up for NRG.
Kill him! That's it! NRG!
Yo, we're fucking champion! NRG, boy! Let's go!
Holy shit! Holy NRG!
I told you I'm paid, bro!
ThinkHard said it's been a hell of a ride, and I don't think there's any better way to put it. For us as spectators, and I'm certain for them as a team and an organization, the journey that they've been on to capture this LCS championship, to dispatch Cloud9 in 3-1 fashion, when so many people believed against them, had their own doubts, from the players' stories themselves. What we just witnessed is nothing short of spectacular. Legendary. NRG is in the history books.
Yeah, and this, just to watch again, this team be allowed to stay together, be allowed to make mistakes. We said several times this team was capable of greatness. They just only showed it to us in flashes, and now we get to see the payoff. Dhokla and Palafox winning their first finals and their first finals appearance. Contractz, after years away, coming back and winning. Luger. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm very emotionally overwhelmed.
And it's because it's such an amazing moment. Like, this NRG team winning, I didn't expect it to happen today.
No.
They believed that it would happen for the last several months and maybe even years, because there's so many players on this team that really speak to the human experience of improvement. Like, they all hit such low points in their LCS pro careers where I feel like one more bad game could have just done it. Like, Dhokla wasn't even able to find an academy team a couple years ago. He had to play his way up through amateur. Contractz, you said, had to thank the EG coaching staff because they gave him a chance in EG Academy, but to just be able to slingshot themselves from those moments to being LCS champions is one of the greatest emotional stories we've ever had in the LCS.
One of the biggest upsets as well, stopping the C9 dynasty in their tracks to do it, being able to take them down. And like you said, the days that it's taken, the games that it's taken for these, you could argue it's also one of the hardest fought victories that we've seen on the LCS stage. The fact that they've had to claw through so many opportunities before they finally got there. We talked about how they had to play more games than anyone else to even get to a finals before. And now that they're able to take it in their first one is so crazy.
And you see the new additions to that team, this split picking up that trophy. 5 final appearances, or at least 5 splits, 4 final appearances for FBI, 2 championships. 1 championship, you think about the negatives so much of like the times you didn't get it done, the 0-3s constantly, feeling like you could never do it again. Does it? And we talked about IgNar's storyline of the fact that he's always been the bridesmaid, never the bride, never being able to win that championship. And he even said it on stage, they're feeling that might never happen. And he gets that chance on this team and he clinches it.
Yeah, and I think it again goes to show what can happen when you actually do believe in what a player can accomplish, and again, give them time to do it. I know I keep repeating myself, but I hope orgs look at this and say, hey, maybe there is talent down in our NACL system. Maybe we do have players that we've passed on previously that have unknown depths that we can still test out, and actually give these players tryouts and look at them seriously. Because I think Dhokla and Palafox and Contractz in particular are all amazing examples of what you can achieve here.
And at the beginning of this year in interviews, Palafox was talking about how this team hasn't hit the ceiling yet.
Yep.
And no one likes to hear that. The potential word, the ceiling word, especially when the team hasn't been able to do it before. Even the coaches are like, don't mention our prior playoffs runs, right? Like, being able to prove people wrong feels the best. It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, the fact that on week 6 this time around, but asking from Palafox, hey, what does it take for me to get an All-Pro nod? Yep. I think you're much more likely to get an All-Pro nod now.
That was 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago, he didn't make an All-Pro team. This team has 0 All-Pro candidates on it that ended up taking the title down and stopping C9. So I think that's one of the reasons you have to look at this as one of the biggest upsets we've ever seen. Coming from the 5th seed as well, insane turnaround.
Well, and you heard it from FBI, right? Where he was like, I think individual skill is very important, but with our team, where we're different is in the communication. And I know he used the power of friendship.
And I wrote it down. I was like, power of friendship, baby.
But like, that does go far if you have 5 people playing League of Legends that do see things on the same page or can discuss it. Because we've even heard this NRG team be close enough to actually actively challenge each other and fight with each other and figure out what the best thing to do in game is together.
I love that video of them all on the couch debating the right play, and when Contractz says, what's the best players in the world going to do here? And approaching it from that perspective of measuring themselves up to that, not what wins the game, how can we make it work? Like, what's the best people in the world going to do? Because we want to be in that conversation at some point, and we need to start striving for that. And the fact that they set their goals so high is so impressive, and why they've been able to power through what I think a lot of people would have deemed their ceiling with their potential and continuing to hit new heights.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that conversation is like hours-long conversations, right? And it's hard to have those conversations without it getting personal or feeling a type of way about it, but they stuck together and able to get it. And looking at the coaching staff that are now, taking pictures right now, Apollo that's in front of you, Don't Mash Me as the individual player coach. You have Juves that we already mentioned there. It's incredible to see. Oh, and Damonte. We can
All
go,
their first titles.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And like going into this finals, you see them all, basically Apollo's Twitter being revived, like all coming out in support of the boys because it feels special for them that, you know, the players that they've been supporting for so long are finally being able to get that chance. They see themselves in that position.
It's a story of second, third, and fourth chances, right? It's a story of players who have been through and seen it all, but refuse to give up, right? Have been knocked down, have gotten up again, have heard every bit of criticism, be it through social media, be it through us, the pundits on the desk, and have said, that's all right, I'm gonna let that one slide off, and I'm gonna keep pushing forward until my dream is realized. And for so many, that dream was realized today.
1,000%. And it's nice to be able to get those the shots in between games in the coaching room. And I forgot to mention Soaz, like, because the shot I enjoy the most is after a bad game, after one of the worst games, the fastest games. Here, seeing Dhokla sit right next to Soaz and having those deep conversations. A lot of the times, you kind of just want to be alone until the next game starts, but the support is there, and it means something. And so it turns into this championship. It's beautiful to see.
Normally I have so much to say in moments like these, but so much of what was said by the players themselves in the interview, I think is all you need to know about the journey they've all been on and what this means to them. And as we continue to watch the players rightfully celebrate throughout the Prudential Center here and respond to their adoring fans, we have to recognize the top performer in this series, our finals MVP. It was a hard-fought battle for NRG, but in the end, it was one guy who led the charge. He made finals history with the most kills in a single game. Your finals MVP is none other than FBI.
And going up against Berserker when everyone just non-stop gushes about him for good reason, FBI played better today. The 16-kill game, the 8-kill Zeri game, really strong laning throughout this entire series as well to give himself an edge before every team fight. This guy, even though it was his first split on NRG, went through a journey himself.
I think also just huge redemption from the side of winners when they had the opportunity to beat Cloud9 then. He had the Ricochet mishap, and people picked him apart for that play. To bounce back and win finals MVP is absolutely massive.
Yeah.
I mean, top of show today, we definitively said Berserker's best player in the LCS, right? And we built that up as this is the guy that you're going to have to get through to hoist that trophy. FBI lived up to that. He stepped up to that and more today, Emily.
Well, and he mentioned this himself, but like, obviously he's been to 4 of the 5 past finals, but most of those finals appearances were not great. In fact, they were record losses for FBI. So I think coming out here, beating C9, beating Berserker, let's go FBI, congratulations. Well deserved.
Very, very much deserved. Final word on that, Raz?
And it's fun to be able to just go online and see all the past teammates, those 100 Thieves boys, support him. Saw a closer tweet on that one. Just like everybody who's been along the ride with him, seeing him succeed, it's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah. Absolutely. And how about where they go from here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, World, absolutely, right? But like, I think it's an interesting thing where NRG, with their focus on this, right? Now there's embarking on a new journey almost, Jack.
They, right now, are the best team in North America.
Absolutely.
And that will be true. And then they'll be tested again at Worlds, because that's when people are going to be resetting and they're going to have to get into gear once again. They earned this. They should enjoy this. This is an amazing moment. They're going to take some time, and then they're going to get back to work. And we're going to see if they can do more stuff on
Party
the
hard
stage.
tonight. Give yourselves a night to celebrate.
I'll give them 2 weeks. There's Asian Games, there's Glaze Worlds.
There's also the play-in stage. They don't need to go through play-ins. They got
Yeah.
plenty of time. Go party for more than a day. Party for a week. Enjoy it because
they're partying today.
I just want to know whether or not they're going to employ the same strategy that Dhokla revealed. You know, get 3-0'd false hope, play 5 games on stage to build the experience, and then come in and smack your finals opponents 3-1.
Yeah, and I respect the people still listening to this. These are the hardcore fans, so I want you to champion this message for North America. So many of these NRG players are here today because they didn't give up and they didn't let a bad game or a bad moment define their careers.
Yep.
True.
There's going to be a lot of people out there trash talking Emenes, saying Fudge is a fraud. Don't do that, because that's one small moment in their careers, and we're going to need everyone performing at their best come international games. So NRG, unbelievable test of perseverance but you cannot judge a team based solely on a day or a week or a split of games.
It's an excellent call out because this was a team that, despite we're talking about them working well in NA Town and all this stuff, it took time to get there. The fact that their first split together, Contractz and Palafox, ended with them in 8th. They bring Dhokla in, they get 4th in the regular season, but can't make any big splashes in the playoffs. And it wasn't until FBI and IgNar, excuse me, joined this roster. The fact that it took tinkering over years to build a championship is worth highlighting, and why, to Jat's point, you can't just judge people off a low point that someone hits.
Exactly, and it feels good because I remember just yesterday hearing from Dhokla how, throughout his journey, he was close to quitting, right? When you are at your lowest, you're like, I don't know anymore. If people out around me, if people outside don't believe me, it gets harder and harder. But as you mentioned, sticking to it, it's nice to see. And now I want to have that interview again. Like, how does it feel right now?
Yeah, I mean, he talked about how he almost retired. Palafox has talked about how no one gave him a lot of teams just didn't give him a chance.
Yeah.
Even IgNar on stage said, I didn't know if I would be able to win a title. This is his first domestic title, even with all of the international experience he did have. That, like, he was like, I don't know if I'll win a title before I retire. Like, this means so much to them. And again, like, you cannot understate how important it was that they did manage to persevere through a lot of trials.
We all bore witness to something very special today.
Yeah.
Something absolutely legendary. So lock that into your brains, because things like this don't happen every year in the LCS. But this year, this summer belongs to NRG, and that will largely bring a conclusion to our LCS Championship weekend. First, a big thank you to our partners, all of which who help make these events possible, who help us celebrate the best and brightest talent that North America and the LCS has to offer. From here, y'all, we pack it up, we shut down the lights, and we look forward towards international competition. And I wait on bated breath to see how these NRG guys can fare, how they can take that power of friendship and run it up the flagpole there to hopefully bring it home for the LCS. And so, y'all, thank you so much for being a part of this weekend with us. The last decade of my life on the LCS has been a special one. I want to thank you all for being a part of it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's been our honor.
Yeah.
Oh, please. It's an honor of a lifetime. Thank you all so much. And until next time, y'all stay healthy, stay safe, and be good to each other, all right?
Welcome to the LCS playoffs. We are kicking things off here with this first best of 5. I'm hoping we get a banger series in front of us.
Oh, they're going for the dive, though. There's a Featherstorm from Tomo. Should be able to call back. Turtle! Sidestepping! Double kill!
Shaden doing the same thing now. Jojo gets locked up. Bit of a problem here for EG so far, but revenge arrives and fixes everything real quick. EG's got to chase it down. Boom! Evil Genius is ended in style.
To take the kill under the tower, and Emenes has got nowhere to run. Gets a ward into the brush, so they find eyes onto Emenes and get vision down. Shaden trying to slow him down with the Arc of Assault. Voidseeker there making EG really work for this one. Voidseeker running the marathon. Another available as well. Emenes flashing over the wall. No way! He's gonna get out! Arc of Assault over the wall. Can he find him in the front? No! Emenes doesn't die, baby!
Turtle just stepping too far forward, loses track of the feathers. The flash. Tomo the go! Flashes to reposition the feathers.
Hit against Kennen. I hate this call, but they're gonna go for it.
They try to use the Keeper's Verdict. Pioshik got hit. Summon with a massive engage. So scoring on the 3, but he ain't gonna find the kills just yet. Pioshik has stolen the Baron, and 100 Thieves already lost Fusio. They try to retreat back over the wall. It took them 10 damn minutes to do that.
Even worse right now, me or 100 Thieves.
Overcoming hardships is what makes it rewarding in the end. So I would love to play again next year, but we'll see. I don't know.
Core said in the video that you guys are the best team to fight Europe. EU's trash. You just want to crap on EU's trash.
Shaden just needs to start it, and Summit should die.
Well, Summit's immediately just going all out. Revenge is pulled back up the turret. Charging up the Intofo strikes. Shaden's going to try to walk through the turret. Pioshik locks down the enemy jungler. Summit picks
tower like that in revenge.
What? Ocean with the Hex Flash. Team Liquid eliminates Evil Geniuses.
Golden Gardens piling in another flash to try to get away, but River into the backline. It's a twisted advance. It's multiple members falling. It's a triple kill for Gory. It's all over for Dignitas. But if they get hard engaged on 6A, he's going to be too late.
Dhokla's here with the front line, top of the gargoyle, stone plate immediately as he's dragged back into the Sun Disc, and FBI goes on a killing spree. 6A's here with the front line, guns one down, but he won't be able to get himself back away. IgNar controlling Gory, keeping him out. Palafox slides forward the conquering sand and conquers the Golden Guardians. A double kill back over to the NRG AD carry, and NRG absolutely slam the fight. It's an ace. They will earn themselves a 3-1 victory. They will earn themselves a trip to New Jersey, and they will earn themselves a spot at LUN.
Does someone not know how to play tic-tac-toe?
Aren't you always supposed to put it in the center first?
He ran that down super hard. They're literally both trolling.
And throw out the ulti and the equalizer. They just burn someone down before he gets a chance to fight. Piochic is waiting on APA. 3-man Palafox with multiple members knocked up. Can they find the reset? Piochic is burnt. Can he look for another reset here? He has to join up and link up with APA. Oh my goodness, over the wall. Triple kill on Gory, and who we are in his sights. He's looking for another one. Gory's forced to fly. He finds the sun. Who we are down.
In the dominance, energy falling back as Emenes goes over the wall. Package is delivered. They've immediately got their first kill, but Cloud9 are taking a lot of AoE. Double kill back up into Berserker. He's going for it. They'll let him fly. Palafox is done. They made it take 42 minutes, but C9, they will take out Energy 3-0 and earn their spot in the finals next Sunday.
If you want to go the long destination, you need to step forward at least one step. The winning LCS will be the first step of us proving again. This is why we were the world champion.
To finally have that trophy, to finally be able to lift it up, would just mean the world to me. It would prove that all the hard work and dedication that I put into this game has paid off.
Surging from 8th place in spring, now on the brink of grand finals. And their opponents, they are finally rewarded in Synergy!
Dragon, but Summit's ready to rejoin. He's got the counter-strike. Nice use of the Pathmaker there from Dhokla to stop Summit from getting over onto Palafox. Piochic finally clears the front line, and Palafox is looking to disengage once more. Team Liquid is melting energy. Team Liquid will take the game in 18 minutes and 54 seconds. We are going to Silver Scrapes.
He's coming from Shadow here, but he has no Megadar. He's walking up.
What is he doing? Summit! Summit! He's in Guardian Angel. He's going to resurrect, but he ain't going to have anything.
IgNar, he's positioning on the side. They go.
Contractz goes in. Equalizer over the top. Yone is locked down. Palafox just killed him. Team Liquid is done. Energy are going to make their run to the finals. You can even change the name of the organization, but the faith remains. Energy going to finals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LCS 2023 Summer Finals. And it's time to see which one out of C9 and Energy gets to walk away holding the trophy today. It's the finals. It's game one. Let's rock and roll. Contractz getting hit with a Void Seeker. Emenes coming in from the side. Contractz staying alive for now. Void Seeker on FBI. They go back in, but it's Emenes finding two. IgNar has to disengage. FBI's been caught by Blaber. C9 is just better. Line damage on Fudge, and Blaber's already dead. C9 looking to find their way back in as Berserker goes over the wall looking for FBI, but Dhokla's ready to turn it around. Palafox chased down with an F charge. Emenes is ready to clean him up, and the carries are already dead. C9 are going to win the fight. Their minions are going to win the game. They are going to take it. Fudge cannot finish the job. Palafox stepping back up as the root caller flies out, and Palafox is reinforced with the shield. They're ready to try to finish the kill. Daisy throws him up. C9 still tries to fight it, but Fudge is running out of cooldowns. They're off their FBI. They may just get Energy saves their man. Jumping into the brush there, finds Fudge. Infernal Chains. Contractz gonna get bursted down. Energy's trying to be careful here, but the jungler is about to drop. Contractz kills Blaber. He gets away. Fudge tries the Acathian raid. Energy don't lose a man.
No flash, guys. Okay, front.
Nice.
No flash Alistar, guys. Play off this next mid wave, we end.
Triple kill. want Berserker and they want him now. Palafox has made his way in for the Pop Blossom. Berserker's gonna drop and Zven will go with him. Berserker wants to hold him off, but no! Flash counter-strike! NRG are doing it! They're going down the top lane. Only Fudge is alive.
I think they've done it here. The Fudge is trying to go in, but he's got nothing.
Fudge falls the ace for Dhokla and NRG from their first win in the upper bracket to the win in the finals to the win in the summer split. Zven comes back, but he cannot do it. Oh, ye of little faith, why do you doubt? NRG are your 2023 Summer LCS champions.